fucking nerds who wants a shot at the champ.
They bring the heat.
Francis Ngannou is the hardest puncher in the history of fighting.
They bring the knowledge.
If you think this fight is going 5 rounds, you are out of your mind.
They bring you the picks.
The dog is getting it done in this one.
We deliver every single week. We're bringing the heat, ladies and gentlemen.
The money line.
Don't miss it on the MMA Experts channel each week. The Money Line. We are live. It is UFC 301 fight week. I am AJ, joined as always by my guy, Mike, the Stormtrooper Finch. What's going on?
Hey, look, the card is on May the 4th, so I had to bring, the look. So all my Star Wars dorks out there, this one's for you guys.
Shout out to you Star Wars savages. You know, I used to have a Darth Vader helmet, but I don't know where it's at. And to be honest, I don't think it can fit over the hat. So
Darth Vader, I should add it to the list. I thought the Stormtrooper looked too realistic. This just looks, this is it. So that's why I got this one. The Darth Vader one, you got to do it perfect. Like when I don't mess around. If I get a replica, it better be it.
This look is great, man. I'm expecting the whole show for you to be wearing that thing,
Of course. Why would I take it off? How do you even know it's me?
I guess I don't know if that's Finch or just somebody that sounds like him, bro.
Who knows? That's the idea here, folks. I might be dubbed in, my voice might be dubbed in. You're gonna have to figure that out.
Let's go. I'm excited to find out. Listen, we got UFC 301 bringing the heat to us this Saturday. I'm very excited to have a card, a pay-per-view event. But last week ended up being a pretty banger Vegas card with some of the best fights and knockouts we've seen, especially at an Apex card in a while. I think it's worth doing a quick recap of what went down last week, and then we're going to get into the picks for this UFC card. So let's quickly brief a little UFC Vegas 91 before we start the show off for real. So in the main event of UFC Vegas 91, we had Matthias Nicolau get absolutely starched by, I think, Perez, who's still got some fight left in him. I mean, big hook, big knockdown, short notice spot for Alex Perez. I think the Matthias Nicolau chin has been exposed. I know it was a clean shot for Perez, 1000%, but Nicolau's chin question marks through the space, specifically in the live chats for me, has been a thing that came up all last week. A few people telling me Nicolau had the glass Joe, and Perez hit him one time and game, set, match. So glass Joe, glass Nicolau, maybe. What do you think, Finch? Is he glass Joe?
No, we can't hate on him that bad. I mean, he was looking okay. He was moving side to side. I think it was just that, Alex Perez was on point, man. I like how he was storming him with those punches. You saw how disappointed the corner was. I feel like they just got caught. They got caught up in a flurry. I mean, Alex Perez looked good. Even when he was walking out, AJ, did you not feel? I felt like he's about to give us a good performance tonight. He just seemed on point. I think that's what it was. He fought really, really well, put punches together, was just dangerous all night. And the more dangerous guy on the feet won. He was able to put shots together and make a combination happen for him. No, Nicolau's going to be back. I
picked Perez like before the fight. If you're talking about walking into the arena, I said, man, I think Perez is going to get him. Granted, the pick all week was Nicolau. It's not like a magical pick flip. I'm not going to take credit for it like that. But I felt the energy from Perez is like, okay, he seems really confident in this matchup. And then seeing him in the cage, he looked really confident. And it was a marquee win. It gets him back on the track, man. He hadn't won a fight since 2020 against Juicy A. Formiga. So he'd been on a bad slump. But now I think the stock of Muhammad Mokaev indirectly raises because of this, because Mokaev was able to beat Perez in a hard 3-round matchup. And I think people kind of discredited Mokaev, maybe even somewhat myself after that one, losing a bit of faith in the prospect. But beating Alex Perez is something that you have to hold in high regard. His recent losses are to Mokaev, Pantoja, and Figueiredo, 2 of the 3 world champions.
That's the royalty, right? That's the top of the game. So 100%, he's only been competing against the best. You can't hate on him for that. He'll bounce back. Yeah, for sure. It's been super tough competition. Let him get a win back, and then we'll see what's up. I'm not writing him off at all.
Okay. Finch still has faith in Nicolau. Myself, I guess I'm kind of writing him off a bit.
You're writing him off. He's going to get chinned by the average guys now? He's in the middle of the division. They're just all going to knock him out?
Nah, you're right. Maybe Manel Cop starches him though in a rematch.
Manel Cop's a problem.
I like that fight. Still potentially booking it, but we'll see. Manel Cop, Alex Perez sounds interesting to me. So if I'm matchmaking it, I think I'm putting those two together probably over the summer. I don't think that Perez needs a long time off. If he's looking to consistently make a run, time's ticking. You might as well keep on throwing down as good as he looked this time.
Bro, he looks so good. I hope they roll him right back in. I hope he's got a fight in a couple weeks. I hope he's on this pay-per-view on Saturday for some reason.
Yeah. I honestly, I hope you're right, Finch. Let's go. Listen, let's keep running down the card. We're going to talk the co-main event. He's taking it off.
I'm here.
I assume it was
way warmer than I thought, first of all.
Yeah, I didn't think you'd last the whole show with that on, Finch.
I'll switch to Jedi. I'll switch to Jedi for the folks.
Do you have the cape and everything? Do we got the outfit, man? I need you with the Darth Hood.
They wear like a cloak. It's a little different from a cape.
You got a cloak?
Like vampire. This is
all
like
right.
This is like, low key.
So I'm doing Twilight next card.
I got the ray gun from Call of Duty, and so I don't know, Stormtrooper-ish. No,
close enough. Casuals that don't know Star Wars would say Stormtrooper-ish,
right? I think I'm gonna use it.
Ryan Spann, Bogdan Gushkov, man. Superman Spann. On this show, I called him the lock. If you guys watch my weigh-in show, I kind of pulled back from that narrative and flipped towards Corinne Silva, but officially it's a loss on the lock. I can't, abandon what I said all week long. He didn't look good on the scale. He looked bummish on the scale. He looked slovenly. He looked sloppy. He looked like he had just rolled out of bed. He showed up with more body fat than I'm used to seeing, and you saw it in the performance. The first round for Ryan Spann was excellent, though. We got to give him credit. But he was panic wrestling, and it happened to work, and he was on top of Gushkov doing damage. But in the striking, I've never seen Ryan Spann look so awkward. Like, he wasn't accurate at all. He couldn't find his range. We've heard Ryan Spann say things like, oh, now I'm actually training full time. I never had before. I question his motivations, man. I question what he does inside of his camps. I question how hard he was pushing it leading up to this fight. And that's not to discredit Bogdan Gushkov, but we've seen Ryan Spann look excellent in certain fights. And then you see him here pretty much fall apart.
He finds a way to lose these fights. He was definitely very capable in this one. Got to the top position. Remember the ref was working for him? I mean, he had Gushkov in a couple precarious positions. Did he win the first round?
Dominantly, 10-8.
Yeah. So, he's just finding a way to lose these fights. I don't know. Gushkov, dangerous. Let his hands go. Big fucking win for him, for sure. As far as where you put Ryan Spann, I don't know, man. He's entertaining to watch. That's why I think he sticks around, but inconsistent's an understatement.
I think that Ryan Spann might be booted from the rankings. I don't know. I haven't looked at the official rankings this week. Now I got to check. I think there's a possibility of Ryan Spann being out of that top 15. If he is still in the top 15, it's just barely. He's currently ranked at number 11. So we haven't seen an updated rankings yet, because I would assume that with the updated rankings, Bogdan Gushkov is going to be jumping some spots, man.
I mean, Bogdan should, it's not like the division's that deep. It's not, so you get a stoppage like that, and the sky's the limit. Who knows where he's going to be, but probably a number next to his name, and good. He's a fun fighter to watch. I mean, Bogdan is not world championship material. He's just got, like you said, 10-8 first round. I don't think it was 10-8, but he lost the first round to Spann. It's like, that's kind of where he's at. He's dangerous with his hands, but he's a little wild. He's going to eventually get clipped with a big shot. Like, you throw that shit at Alex Pereira, you're going to end up just the same way Jamal Hill did. But should he be top 10 in the UFC? I guess so.
I'm going to say that Bogdan Gushkov is in a good position. Potentially a fight looming could be the winner of Menefield versus Carlos Ulberg. Could even be Anthony Smith Petrino winner, which is coming up this Saturday. We'll be talking about that fight on this card. So there are a wide array of options for Bogdan Gushkov. And regardless of maybe his, lacking technical game, fun fighter, entertaining, and I am excited for more Bogdan Gushkov. I think that's why they've kept pushing him.
Yeah, they're good fights. He's entertaining as hell. Why not? When he wins a fight, it's dope. He throws big shots, old school light heavyweight. And you know what? We love the old school light heavyweights. Let's keep glancing over this last card. This one here,
Corinne Silva Lipsky. Yo, Corinne
She
Silva
looked
was the real
good.
lock of the week, my brother.
Yeah, she looked good,
She
man.
looked
You called it.
great.
She looked good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Corinne Silva's a problem for sure.
I'm excited for more with Corinne Silva. Developing game for sure. Pretty good right now, too. Let's keep running down. We're not going to stay too long in this
Dominated
one.
that fight.
Dominance. This
You
one was
love
awesome. This is my favorite fight of the night. I died laughing when I saw Deniz drop Lane. I don't know why I had that reaction. I don't know. Austin Lane, to me, he's an
Hater.
athlete for sure. Am I an Austin Lane hater? Listen, I respect the guy for doing MMA. He got into it late. He comes from a football background. Football players, naturally, right, at a professional level, I'd assume a lot of them think they can throw down. And Austin Lane, to be honest, in the first round was doing his thing. He football tackled Deniz, and Deniz couldn't get back up to his feet. I'll tell you, that's a massive red flag for Deniz moving in against some of the actual better guys in the UFC heavyweight division. But when they were striking in that second round, Lane was panic shooting, and he got absolutely starched, man.
His striking, Austin Lane's striking is bad, dude.
Yeah.
It is just sloppy. Defense, very low. You know, let's call a fucking spade a spade.
Yeah.
I think you echoed it. Daniel Cormier said it correctly. I think you guys are right in calling it a football tackle. I mean, he went out there like he was in the fourth quarter. My man just changed levels and hit that tackle to stop the first down. From the top position, we didn't see anything. From the bottom, we didn't see anything. Still, I gotta hate on the commentators. It's like, guys, why are you all Dominic Cruz was doing the whole time was just roasting Deniz on bottom. It's like, he's not even trying to get up here. It's like, Dom, you have a 280-pound dude on top of you, and let's see you establish, whatever you want, a frame and underhook build up, a little different, Dom. I think Deniz made a decision. Okay, I'm not going to spend too much energy. I'm going to chill down here. I'm going to make it through this round, and then I'm going to knock him out in the second. And that's exactly what he did. Yeah. So the commentators could complain all they want to. It worked for Deniz. Deniz made the decision, and he got the finish. So good for him. On the feet, he looks good. Obviously, the commentators have a point that he's not much of a wrestler, not much off of his back. So the blueprints, the plans that need to be constructed are very clear for the next training camp for Deniz. With that being said, Austin Lane is just not a high level fighter. His striking's pretty bad. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done there for Austin Lane. It was sort of polar opposites in that sense. And Deniz just let his hands go once, and that's all he needed. He rocked them at first. You said you were laughing because he didn't drop him right away. First,
I don't know why it was hilarious to me.
And then he followed up again. I mean, I was going, oh, that was my reaction. It was badass. Deniz has got power.
Deniz got big pop, and I'm excited to see more of him. But if I'm fighting opposite Deniz, I'm putting him on his ass. Takedowns galore is expected coming in the future. Listen, this fight before, another one we got to at least touch on. David Onama dug deep, man. I picked him as an underdog this week with some confidence, and I was very grateful, man. He put it on Jonathan Pierce in a competitive matchup where he was tested bad in that second round. David Onama, his fight IQ is still questionable, but I'll make this hard statement right now, and maybe it's a hot take. David Onama has the base to become an elite fighter in mixed martial arts. He has the natural athletic abilities to be a problem for almost anybody at 145. Where my question lies is around the fight IQ, because in that second round, he was choosing to engage the wrestler in grappling, maybe in a battle of egos. And then when you look in the third round, he was pretty much fending everything off. I think David Onama going forward, though, still a developing guy. I'm going to catch him sliding into the top 15 at some point. I'm a fan of David Onama.
Bro, how many times did he get taken down in that fight, AJ?
But he finds ways. It's the weirdest thing ever.
But it's a problem. It's partially because Jonathan Pierce's control was that bad. I mean, Jonathan Pierce, when you've got the back, can we get a body triangle? Can we get a crossbody ride?
He tried.
Put your right hook in and control the left wrist. Can we get a power half? Can you talk to Gordon Ryan? Can we get a power half? His control, like whatever Dagestan's got going, he's the opposite. My man Pierce is bar of soap in the bathroom. I cannot believe how bad the control was. His takedowns are nice, and then Onama, same thing with the takedown defense. It's like, yeah, he could shake people off of his back. Well, what about when he doesn't? What about when he gets a guy who really sticks to him? AJ, I thought that takedown defense was well below average, and he was getting taken down with anything. So I have a much more critical take of Mr. Onama. I thought you could have scored that fight for Pierce. Now, I'm not saying that. I understand. I wasn't upset that Onama won, but that was a close fight. I honestly could have seen that fight going for Pierce. You couldn't?
No.
He fucking took him down like 10 times.
Yeah,
he
but
was
he
the one
did-
threatening with submissions. What the fuck did Onama do? Stood up
He punched him in the face.
a couple times. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
no.
I got to rewatch the fight. I saw him get taken down 15 times. It just keeps getting more. It was like 7, 10, now it's 15.
He was getting taken down.
I saw him get taken down 176 times, and I just thought to myself,
Yeah.
I'm not looking at a guy who's ready for a top 15 opponent. So
Maybe not right now.
So different take, AJ.
I like
I'm betting
Onama a
against
lot,
Onama
bro.
once he gets somebody good. Once he gets somebody who could wrestle, betting against him.
All right. Listen, I respect you, Finch. And the fight before that, our main card opened up with Uros Medic absolutely starching Tim Means. And I think Medic's stand-up is a problem at 170 pounds for these unranked guys. We hadn't seen Tim Means knocked out since 2019 against Nico Price. So he's been holding up pretty good. I mean, split decision loss to Max Griffin. Did get submitted against Alex Morono. But Tim Means was a dog that a lot of people were even into this, past week. But at Uros Medic's striking was primed, and his skill set is constantly improving. And I'm telling you, strike with him, you're in trouble. Uros Medic is a very good striker.
He is, man. It was a beautiful KO. He got a nice finish. Remember, his opponent was 40, and I think we're going to start seeing that now from Tim Means. So, Tim Means was able to, surprise us last year, but I think now we're going to start seeing Dirty Bird having some trouble flying. With Medic, hey, we both picked him. We were on it. We got it.
Yeah,
Do you remember there was BKFC fights too?
There was BKFC. I don't have a graphic for the BKFC, unfortunately. I didn't do a Mike Perry breakdown pick, but we got to at least quickly talk the Platinum one-shot KO. I mean, he put Thiago Alves down and made him quit. Alves was done, bro. Alves' career is done. He said he was retiring after. He retired during the fight. He said, I'm good with this fighting stuff. I had a good run. My prime was, the last era. I made 200K to fight Mike Perry. That's pretty good. Give me 200K. Give me a minute. No significant damage. He's not going to be, busted up on his way home. He took one shot in the chin. He said, hey, listen, good shit.
Yeah, he came out fighting, but after the first drop, you could just see that Thiago Alves made a decision that he did not want to continue to be in a ring, in a bare knuckle fist fight with Mike Perry. And that's what we saw. So it was unfortunate to see a legend go out like that, because Thiago Alves is the man. I mean, I've, been in his vicinity a handful of times because he's always cornering for ATT. So I've seen him at the Bellator hotels and talked to him on many occasions. What a really good, nice guy. So I don't want to sit here and trash him at all. But, it was a rough way to end because he's a guy who fights with his heart. I mean, think of prime Thiago Alves. Think about the UFC 100 buildup. AJ, were you born yet? Did you watch UFC 100 on pay-per-view? Did you?
I didn't watch it live on pay-per-view.
Oh, wow.
I missed
That
UFC 100. I started hardcore watching every event following UFC 109. I was a casual UFC 98 and forward from there.
Yeah, I've been around. I've been around this game, and I remember when Thiago Alves was in his fucking prime, and he was a savage. He would drive those low kicks like a baseball bat swinging, right? I mean, he's a pit bull for real, and so I'm glad he got paid. All
Look
the
like
best
a poodle out
retirement, and that should be it for the pit bull, man.
Yeah. Overall, though, Knucklemania. Decent action. Angulo's fight was one of the best fights I've ever seen. Riggs was pulling his hair when he had him in the clinch, and he's just ripping shots, right? Angulo's a dog. Absolutely knocked him clean out in the first. That was great.
Tons of dogs in fucking BKFC.
It's the home of the dogs.
Yo, Hunt getting knocked out was crazy.
That was crazy. Lorenzo Hunt,
him breaking his arm. Yeah, him breaking his arm. For those of you who don't know, the Juggernaut, the guy who is pound for pound top 2 in the sport of bare knuckle fighting, got his arm got dropped and got his arm broken when he went back to post with his hand. So all the best to the champ. The Juggernaut's the man.
Let's go. Overall, picks wise, I went 10-3. So my record for the UFC 300 era, as far as the predictions, is 19 wins and 7 losses right now. So I gotta stay high and mighty on that one. I was hype as hell.
Hell yeah. I mean, overall, our BKFC picks are sick.
Yeah, the BKFC picks are goated forever, man.
Really good. Like,
oh, I know.
Really good. I'm definitely up, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, really, really good. You ready to talk this card? Do we have a pay-per-view ahead of us?
Listen, we got to talk UFC 301. If you guys are just tuning in and you haven't yet, make sure you smash the likes. And if you haven't, also subscribe to the channel if you're new. First fight on the card, we have Alexandre Costa versus Kevin Borjas. I like this fight a lot. I'm picking Alexandre Costa. I think if they tie up, Costa's got the grappling advantage. I think he's a physically stronger guy. Borjas has good kickboxing, and from the longer ranges, he's pretty slick, but I really think that Costa's good too. Like, both guys are quality up-and-comers in the UFC flyweight division, and I'll anticipate both got some staying potential here. I don't think they're washouts by any means, but I think Alexandre Costa can win some rounds here, win some grappling entanglements, and I do think he can land some big punches too. I'm going to go Costa to start Brazil off with a win. I think he gets it down 30-27, 29-28. Good fight, 3 hard rounds. Costa getting the hand raised, though.
Well-matched fight, a really good one. Borjas should be the better striker, but I feel like Costa's going to bring some pressure, hit some takedowns. His submission rate's really high. We have seen Borjas get submitted with a rear naked choke in 2019. I think it happens again. Give me Costa submission, rear naked strangle in front of the Brazilian crowd. And I know Peru's not that far, but I do think that the home field advantage is going to show even in the first fight of the night with the stands only half full. And I say half because they're in Brazil. I know you Americans aren't even in there until we're halfway through the card. In Brazil, they're going to show up early. They're going to get loud for Costa. I think he'll get a finish. Rear naked strangle.
I got high expectations for the crowd. Brazil, if anybody from Brazil is watching you going to the card, you guys got to deliver, man. Growing up, Brazil fighting there was like intimidating, right? If I was a fan and I'm rooting for an American guy, I'm worried for my boy that he's taking on a Brazilian savage in Brazil. But when we've seen some recent cards in Brazil, they haven't had the same fanfare. There hasn't been that same intensity. So I hope that 301, the 300 era, starts off good with Brazil being a banger crowd.
I mean, if we're talking banger crowds, I think the top, the debate is between Brazil or like one of those crazy UK cards where they're all no.
Paris too is lit now, though.
Where?
I think that, bro, I think the Brazilians growing up was top tier. Right now, I think it's Paris, UK. They're bringing banger crowds.
Paris. Parlez-vous français? I'm going to be in Paris in September, y'all.
What?
I booked tickets. Yeah, I'm taking wifey. So wifey had her birthday.
Happy
and
birthday.
For her birthday, I got her tickets to London, Paris, Switzerland, and then she just added on Rome. So we're doing you ain't going to see me for a couple weeks, okay?
You're going to see me in Rome, my friend.
When in Rome. Look, bro,
let's go.
I have fun.
I'm excited for you, my man. Enjoy the hell out of that.
Not
excited to not have you here every week, but we'll get something figured out, man. I'll get you an AI version of Mike Finch, you know?
We'll get this guy to come back. He'll cover, you know? We'll get this guy in here, and you guys won't even know the difference.
You won't know anything. You'll be like, oh, it's the same one. Listen, odds for this fight, if you're looking at it, they are favoring Costa slightly at -133, so he's not a large favorite by any means. Borjas is +113 as a dog. 2 up-and-coming flyweights. I do think Costa gets it done on the cards. Over is -110, and then Costa decision +250. But if you told me you have to throw down on this one, I'm going to give you the Costa money line would be the side that I would consider. But the over is quite live as well.
I think it's under. I think Costa's getting a finish. These guys are both finishers. Borjas generally finishing with the striking, and Costa is going to bypass that, get the takedown. Good first fight.
Good first fight. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card, we got Ismael Bonfim versus Vinc from Hell Pichel. Bonfim and him were booked to fight a while ago, but Bonfim unfortunately missed weight and was the reason that fight got canceled. I'm hoping he's got this weight cut under control, and I really think that Bonfim should destroy the 41-year-old Vinc Pichel. Like, if he doesn't, I mean, wow, the hype train is completely derailed. The striking of Bonfim is really gnarly. I think that Pichel is a tough OG, but he's going to be hit with some big shots, and I think he's going to get put out, man. Bonfim's coming off a loss to Benoit Saint-Denis. That loss has aged like fine wine at this point. And Pichel, I mean, he's got a loss recently to Mark Madsen, who's now retired from the sport. Granted, completely opposite style to a Bonfim. I think Pichel gets chinned here. I'm going to go Bonfim for the knockout.
Bonfim, are people forgetting? Did they forget that Bonfim is a phenom? That Bonfim is incredible, and you're going to give him an aging Pichel? Sorry, Pichel, the mustache is dope. Don Fry vibes with the stash. I respect it. You're going to give him Pichel in Brazil? He's finishing this fight. Yeah. He's finishing this fight. Bonfim is a problem with whatever he wants. Striking, submission. I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, Bonfim by first round knockout.
Bonfim, I like the first round knockout call. I'll just call it knockout overall because I can see Pichel in the first round surviving the onslaught. But I hope you're right on the first round knockout call because that's a lot better for the Bonfim stock. Now, as far as the money line odds, Bonfim is a minus 550 favorite with Pichel at plus 400 as the underdog here. And under 1.5 is at plus 200. Something to note for you, Finch, with a KO for Bonfim up at plus 175.
I'm gonna go for this. Finch, is Pichel gonna look like 40 Tim Means? I mean, yeah, because Bonfim is he's so fast, he's so explosive, he's playing at that 2024 pace. And I think Pichel will be surprised by that, man. Yes, I do. I do think there will be a big difference here in athletics.
I think the odds are really wide, though. Money line for Bonfim was just 1-1 in the UFC. But, I mean, matching him with a 40-something-year-old Pichel, like, if Bonfim doesn't knock him out, this is a big surprise. That's probably not what's going to happen. I'm going to predict Bonfim. Finch is going Bonfim. We're both picking KO. It should happen, but if you're on the betting side of things here, money line is not going to be your best pal in this one. You can hope for the knockout prop, or potentially you're putting Bonfim in the long shot of a wider parlay.
A parlay, you say? Well, we'll have to stay tuned to decide on that one.
Let's go. Let's keep running up the card. Next fight on it, we got Dione Barbosa versus Ernesto Kareckaite. I'm going with Barbosa to win on the ground. I just don't think that Kareckaite is going to have the grappling defense to deal with a jiu-jitsu black belt. Kareckaite was involved in a really fun fight on the Contender Series. It was a good scrap. The girl that she fought against, whose name Carly Judice, I believe, was only 3-0 at the time, not super experienced, and that was a split decision. Barbosa has a massive jiu-jitsu advantage. Now, she's going to have to get it to the ground. Sitting and striking with Kareckaite could be a dangerous game. But regardless of Kareckaite's kickboxing experience, I'll tell you straight down the line, I don't think she's got super heavy hands, right? So I don't think Barbosa is at a significant risk of being knocked out. She's going to be able to walk Kareckaite down, and I do believe she puts her on the floor and does work with the jiu-jitsu. I think Barbosa has a high probability of winning this fight by submission. I am going to call a submission win for Barbosa in this one.
For the witch. He said she doesn't have heavy hands. Her nickname is Heavy-Handed. How fucking dare you?
Bro,
how fucking dare
can we talk about it then? Let's talk about it.
No,
decision, right?
I know
KO against an 0-1 girl 5 years ago. Heavy hands is a great nickname. It doesn't mean you got heavy hands. It's just the truth. She got hands. I don't know how heavy.
Hey, what about the KO over against the 0-0 girl? You just decide not
What's
to.
What's her record now? This 0-0 girl, is she undefeated now? Is she fucking
0-2?
Oh shit.
0-2. Hey, how about the 0-1 girl? Oh, 0-3. Okay, yeah. All right. So Barbosa, like we were saying, by probably just taking her down, dude. Probably just taking her down, giving her the business.
Standing on business, bro.
Standing on business. So, is Barbosa going to finish her? I don't know. I suppose a submission could be in the books, but I wouldn't be surprised to get to see this thing go all the way. If it is a submission, maybe it's late. So, yeah, like round 3 submission's not crazy.
Let me tell you something about Barbosa. She has a win over Corinne Silva early in her career, but that's still
very important because Corinne Silva looked real good against a pretty high level opponent. So that's a nice one. That aged nicely.
And if you look at the loss, Josiana Nunes loss, who's now in the UFC, lost to
she's
Jenna Bishop, who's a high-level grappling champion. So if you look at Barbosa's Elves, and then you look on the opposite side, the competition level Kareckaite is seen, there's just a whole different tide of opposition. I think that Kareckaite is going to get finished, my brother. I don't think she's going to know how to deal with Barbosa's grappling. Judice, who Kareckaite fought last time I could find information on it, she was a blue belt in jiu-jitsu as a competitor. Maybe she's a purple belt now, but you're dealing with a black belt on the ground on the other side who definitely has good control, and I think that Barbosa's on her way to getting a submission.
I mean, yeah, black belt in jiu-jitsu versus a blue belt. You know, we should see some solid grappling from Barbosa here. That would be the difference. Maybe the crowd being a little into it will get that finish from her too.
Let's go. Odds for the fight, though. They're wide towards the side of Barbosa, but as they should be. She's a 2-1 favorite, minus 200. Kareckaite is plus 170. Over is minus 200, so it's expecting to go distance, but submission win for Barbosa is plus 200. I think Barbosa is live to win by submission. Now, sure, she could go out there and win a hard 3 rounds, so maybe Barbosa money line would be the better side, but I really think Barbosa is going to be on the ground, on top of Kareckaite, garnering control time, and I'm going to predict that she is going to work towards submissions at the least, even if she doesn't finish it, but I'll call submission officially.
There it is, double sub call. Now, I wouldn't tell you to go bet on it per se, but that's my lean. My lean is submission.
Let's go. Got a lot of agreement so far on the card, my brother. Let's keep running up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Next fight, Mauricio Ruffy versus Jamie Mullarkey. I'm going to pick Ruffy to knock Mullarkey out here. I think he can hurt him. Now, the one concern I have is Ruffy's win over Ramon Magomedaliev on Contender Series. That was up at welterweight, and it's not like Ruffy hasn't fought before at 155, but it was outside of the UFC. It was some time ago. Now he's shifting back down to the lightweight division. How's that weight cut going to look? He's definitely not a small guy for 155 pounds. He looked like a pretty full-size welterweight. But Jamie Mullarkey does have some durability issues. Nasrat Haqparast knocked him out. 2 fights before that, he was knocked out by Mohamed Naimov, who's a 45er. I think Ruffy, who's coming down from 170, has a massive power advantage. It's funny, on Contender Series, they were comparing Ruffy's striking a bit to Conor McGregor. Like, I kind of get the comparisons, but, like, you know, it ain't Conor McGregor. Still, though, you know, slick striking. You can see the traditionalist based in the game, but definitely a high probability of Ruffy dusting Jamie Mullarkey here. So I'm going to pick him by knockout, man. I don't think Mullarkey moves his head enough. I don't think he gets out of the way of the big shots, and then he's going down in the first round.
Can you put Drew Dober on a timeout in the chat, please? Thank you.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you here. Unfortunately, shit, I'd rather go against you, but I mean, all knockouts and coming down in weight. Jamie Mullarkey's advantage is he's tall, he's long, he's pretty tight with the striking, keeping the chin tucked. But you get knocked out by Nasrat Haqparast, like, you know, who I'm not super high on. I think this dude Ruffy's gonna come out there and roofie him, knock him out. Get it? Bad joke.
Good.
Thank you. Ruffy KO. That makes a lot of sense here.
Minus 173 for Ruffy. Mullarkey at plus 148 with a knockout prop for Ruffy at minus 130. So it's already expected he gets the knockout. The money line's nice, though. For Ruffy to win just straight down the line, minus 170 is not awful. For a first-round knockout for Ruffy, if that's where your confidence lies, you're only getting plus 220. So it's not all that much excitement, but better than minus money.
Definitely. And it's close enough where it's bettable straight money line. So that's a decent one on Ruffy, especially considering where the fight's taking place. I just feel like they get more finishes in Brazil.
Well, the Brazilian air is thinner, so the knockouts are more likely. It's a true fact.
Is that how it goes down?
That's how it goes down, my brother. I'm telling you.
I feel like the Brazilians are fucking spilling beer on you and screaming at you, so you just feel a little hotter on the trigger.
Maybe. That's a good theory. You're probably right. I'm excited for it, man. I'm excited for Brazil. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card, we got Joaquim Silva versus Drakkar Klose. I'm going to pick Drakkar Klose to win against Silva, but I got to say, Silva's an interesting stylistic matchup because Klose does have a tendency of getting reckless and coming in with, the vulnerability of his head just coming in first with the hands low. But what he's good at is using his physicality, using his pace, making fights ugly and winning grind heavy, scrappy fights. I mean, the dude can definitely mix it up. Silva on the opposite front does have some decent power in his hook. He even was able to get to Sarukian's chin. Wouldn't be shocked if he's pulling a guillotine here, trying to tap Klose out. Drakkar Klose is a weird one, right? Because 3 wins in a row. His most recent loss was against Beneil Dariush in that absolute slugfest a long time ago
now.
Long time now. So activity's been a problem for him. But I do think he can win a hard fight, 3 hard rounds with Silva. I think he's going to pull it off.
Man, tough pick for me. Tough pick, man. Losing to Arman Sarukian, like, no problem, dude. No problem.
Yeah.
But then again, beating like 45-year-old Clay Guida, like, man, tough fight. I'd have a slight lean towards Drakkar Klose, but you're telling me it's in Brazil?
Yeah.
Silva's going to be feeling a little froggy. Although Drakkar Klose finishes fights too. He could slam you. He could freaking club you with a shot. I mean, Drakkar Klose is a finisher too. So that's a tough one for me, dude. I don't know. I've been on a roll picking with you, man. I could see Drakkar Klose finding a way to get this fight done, but he's going to have to stick to his boxing. He's going to have to be, not stupid, because you could get flying kneed by this dude. You could get caught in a sub. I mean, it'll be a dangerous fight for him for sure. These guys are going to throw down. Definitely not something I'm looking to bet on personally. I could see Drakkar Klose finding a way to get this finish.
Close money line is currently sitting at minus 155 with Silva at plus 135. I do think Drakkar Klose got a good chance to win. Unless he gets clean clocked or locked in a gilly, I think he should be good to put it on Silva. Decision win for Klose plus 200, but like, again, money line's the A side as far as this one. I do think we're probably going over a round and a half, which is up at minus 245, but something worth saying. I want to mention somebody. Drakkar Klose some years ago as a loss to a man named David Tamier. Do you remember David Tamier, Mike Finch? He was 8-1.
Yes.
He came off the Ultimate Fighter. He was on a roll. He fought Charles Oliveira, and he chose to never fight again after losing to Charles Oliveira. I'm telling you, he sits at home to this day kicking himself thinking, I lost to fucking Charles Oliveira, who went on to be champ. I could have done something. I could have been elite, because I honestly thought the dude had all the skills to be top 15, top 10 for a while. Unfortunately, stopped fighting, and like Drakkar Klose just brings him to, my memory, because I remember when Klose fought him and lost. It's so disappointing to me seeing that he didn't continue his career and he retired at 8-2.
I mean, isn't that this game though? It's like, this ain't tennis, If you don't want to do this shit, like, it is just the most brutal, stressful, vulnerable place you could possibly put yourself, except maybe in the middle of Gaza or Ukraine right now,
That's right more, yeah.
So it's like, I feel like, anybody who because I'm somebody who stopped fighting at 5-0. It's like anybody who wants to stop, they got their reasons for it. It is a tough game, AJ, and but I'm sure I see what you're saying,
right?
That he sees what happened, how Charles Oliveira went on to become this millionaire, famous fighter, and the what ifs have to sit with him, of course.
Yeah, always wonder, man. His Instagram's private now, so I can't even stalk him. Unfortunately.
Oh wow, he really tapped out.
He tapped out. He's gone from the game, unfortunately. Well wishes to David Tamier, man. Well wishes. Well, let's keep running up the card. Let's talk about this next fight. We got Gene Silva versus William Gomis. I'm picking William Gomis to win this fight. I think he can out-kickbox Silva and frustrate Silva. We've seen Gene Silva is definitely a savage. He's got some pop in his hands. He brings some good pressure. He's definitely an entertaining fighter, but does seem to be slightly an emotional fighter. And I can see the way Gomis fights, which is so much more on the counter and defensive side, being a very frustrating style for Silva to deal with. And then add into the fact that Gomis is a lot taller, does have a length advantage, is pretty damn quick, and is also undefeated in the UFC at 3-0. I know Silva is 1-0 in the octagon, but he fought against Weston Wilson, who is not too high caliber, to say the least. Gomis is a guy that I think is developing a pretty quality skill set, and I think stylistically going to be a really tricky matchup for Silva, because it's not like Gomis also doesn't have wrestling. There's really no significant holes in Gomis's game. My biggest gripe with him is his lack of pulling the trigger and doing significant damage, because he is a round winner. But with Silva, a guy who's known for doing significant damage, a guy that can definitely bang, you give me somebody like Gomis, who's more on the technical side, more with the mentality of scoring points and winning. I think this is a bad matchup for Silva. I'm going with Gomis to win a decision.
Fuck, dude, another nail biter. Because Silva's he's a more powerful striker. He's a better finisher. But Gomis is 6 feet tall. I see what you're saying. Stick and move, stick and move. Isn't that the Biggie song?
Biggie. Can't
yeah,
you
right?
see? Yeah.
Sometimes the world hypnotize me. I could see that. Fuck, that's a tough one. I could see Gomis eking out a decision, but are they even going to give it to him in Brazil?
They'll give it to him if he deserves it.
If he deserves it, yeah. I see why Silva would kind of walk into the blender. You know, Silva's going to come right to you like a magnet, and I think Gomis can move side to side and win. Yeah, AJ convinced me. Gomis decision, but another one where it's a nail biter of a fight. Silva's got power. Silva's a finisher. He's going to be in Brazil. You know, he's going to be looking for a knockout. I think against Gomis, it'll be hard because we're talking 5'7" versus 6 feet tall. And Gomis is one of the better fighters out of France right now. So let's see what he could do. 26 years old, young, you know, and we'll see how capable he is. It's a step up for him. That's a good fight.
Dude, it's a good matchup. It's an intriguing fight. Something of note is that Gene Silva has 11 wins by finish, 9 knockouts with 2 submissions. On the decision side of things, he's 1 wins and 2 losses. So taking on a guy who's pretty good at winning rounds, I think this is a favorable fight for Gomis, man. I do like him to win as an underdog. He's currently at plus 120 as a dog with Gene Silva at minus 140. Looking at Gomis by decision plus 250 and an over rounds at minus 145. I'm going to say I think the Gomis chin stands firm. I think the range is a big factor. I think the kickboxing skill is a factor. I'm going Gomis as an underdog, my brother.
You're a savage for it. Look, folks, I'm not betting on this one personally. I'm having little nightmares in my head right now seeing Silva get the knockout. I'm going to stay away from it, but Gomis winning a decision, I see where the logic is.
Let's go. Gomis to get it done on the cards. Should be a good fight. Woo, woo. Silva, unfortunately, the dog's getting caged by the underdog, William Gomis. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card. We got Elves Brener versus Mittabek Orolbai, the first man in history, Mittabek Orolbai, right? This is Orolbai for humankind. Holy shit.
Is he not ready for a fist fight? Like, where are you going to hit that dude? I just feel like he's ready to take a punch.
Orolbai is going to win against Elves Brener, my brother. Mittabek Orolbai is a guy that can mix it up in striking and grappling very well. High pace, heavy wrestling, strength, and pressure. Elves Brener trains with Chute Box Diego Lima, and he's a good prospect out of that gym. But overall, I have never been that high on Elves Brener. I feel quite confident that Mittabek Orolbai dominates this fight. But one thing to say about Elves Brener is he's got incredibly slick jiu-jitsu. He does got some big power in his hands, and he's never been finished as a pro. So Orolbai to be the first guy to finish him, not going to be an easy task. I'll respect Brener a lot as a hungry prospect. I'm going to say Mittabek Orolbai on the cards, 30-27.
He's a solid wrestler, and I think that's the problem here. I think Brener is going to get taken down and controlled, and he's going to feel the strength and the leverage that Orolbai can create. I think that exactly what you said, that it goes. Are we going to have all the same picks tonight? I hope not. That we, I just got to call it like I see it. I see Orolbai dominating this fight with wrestling. Brenner's going to be dangerous on the feet. Brenner's not bad at all, but against a guy with the ability to out wrestle him like this, or by 30-27, 100% agreed.
The odds for it are wide, minus 265 for Orolbai. Brener at plus 225, but I think this is the deserving tag, and I do have strong faith that Orolbai is a guy to watch in this UFC, lightweight division. Looking at win by decision for Orolbai is only plus 135. So the value on betting Orolbai money line isn't there. Trying to prop him up by decision wouldn't be the move. If you think he's got a shot to finish Elves Brener, which is not an easy task, you got a plus 550 sub or a plus 400 Orolbai by knockout. I got a lot of respect for Elves Brenner's game, though. Like, I think he's a very tough test, and I say there's no shame in winning a dominant decision over Elves Brener, and I think that's what Orolbai is en route to doing.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. And I mean, he still can strike with Elves. He still can look for a ground and pound finish on the ground, but most logically, he grinds this thing out for 15 minutes. As far as Brener goes, he's going to have to let his limbs go, and when he does, he's going to be susceptible to be taken down. So yeah, I like Orolbai a lot in this fight.
Let's go. Mitterbeck, Orolbai, a guy to keep an eye on. And someone I'm very excited about, man. I think he's going to look real good this weekend. High confidence that he's going to get it done. Let's go. Agreement again, my brother. Let's keep running. Next fight, Karolina Kowalkiewicz versus Lucindo. Iasmin Lucindo is the pick. I think Kowalkiewicz had a great turnaround. I mean, she lost to Jessica Penne, but has been railing off, 4 wins in a row? Like, that deserves a lot of praise for a Kowalkiewicz who I thought was on retirement's doorstep. But let's be fair here, and let's be honest. The level of competition that she's beaten as of recent hasn't been the elites like she fought previously. The losing streak she had has aged beautifully, aside from a loss to Jessica Penne, because she's fought some of the top females. Wins over Felice Herring, Sevilla Gomez Juarez, Vanessa Demopoulos, and Diana Belbita. Quality enough, girls, UFC level for sure, but not upper caliber. I think Lucindo's a future top 15 contender, coming off a win over Poliana Viana. Before that, beat Brogan Walker, who wasn't all that good. Has a loss to Iasmin Jauregui, but Jauregui's very good. I think that Lucindo by decision makes a ton of sense. She got quick hands. She has some stinging shots on the feet. She's got a well-rounded ground game. She's the younger girl, better athlete. In all honesty, man, Kowalkiewicz could be your mom. 16-year age difference. If she was 16 and pregnant, she would have been the mother of Lucindo. Isn't that crazy?
This fucking guy over here. Holy shit. Yeah. I mean, I guess she could be her mom. Sure. Why don't we say it about it? He could be his dad. We never do that.
No, I never.
But Karolina, she could be her mom. Look, she had a nice comeback. You're right. She's on a nice win streak. They both got checkered records. I don't see the problem here, AJ. No, I agree. Lucindo's better. And those losses, like you said, aging. I mean, let's go through the losses too, dude. Jessica Andrade, Michelle Waterson Gomez. Okay, but Alexa Grasso, Yan Xiaonan, like these losses are, it was a bad losing streak, but these are the best women in the world. And then, I don't need to go through it again, rings off these last 4. So she's killing it, but we can't ignore the fact that she's 38 and Lucindo's just good. Lucindo's got real striking. She could finish people, and she's going to hit with a lot more of a wallop than the Polish phenom. And so I do believe that Polish power is going to fade. And I think that Lucindo could potentially get her out of there, dude. Now that's the question, right? Does she finish the fight or not? It's going to be probably pretty hard to finish Karolina. I mean, Yan Xiaonan couldn't do it. Alexa Grasso couldn't do it, so she's taking good women to a decision, but in Brazil, I feel like the crowd's going to start to filter in, man. I could see Lucindo getting like a standing TKO in this fight. Give me Lucindo knockout.
The money line for Lucindo is up at -425. Kowalkiewicz is a +355 underdog. Lucindo to win by knockout, which is Mike Finch's call, is +320. The submission on the opposite front is it's also +320. The decision is -105. I'm going to call Lucindo by decision, man. I think that Kowalkiewicz is still pretty game. Ali Point VTV. Thank you for the 199. Dynamic duo Finchman and the Iron Knee. Yo, drop a dono. My guy. Let's go, baby. Thank you. Just for you, my brother. Oh,
that was
shit.
A beautiful flying knee. Hey, Ali Point VTV, I appreciate that. You're the first dono tonight. I came out here with a Stormtrooper helmet on. We've been going through the BKFC fights. We went through the UFC fights. We're halfway through this card. Almost. And you're the first donor. So I appreciate you, Ali Point VTV. Thank you so much. As AJ would say, you're a gem.
Ali. Listen, Lucindo the call for both of us, Finch, man. I think we elaborated nicely. Let's keep running. Let's get to our next fight. It is our featured prelim of the night. It's Joe Anderson Brito versus Jack Shore. Mike Finch, do you know my prediction for this fight by any chance?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
Okay, I don't know if it'd be a surprise. Say it. Let them know.
Did I ruin it? This fucking guy is going to go Shore. Okay, we disagree.
For
We
sure.
disagree, dog.
For sure.
We can. Don't you dare say for sure
For
on
sure.
a prediction show. This is not financial advice. This is where I come in with that. Okay, Brito is in Brazil, dog. Dog, he's in Brazil.
He's
It's
worse in Brazil.
in Brazil. Brito is a pit bull. He has got so much more. He's got so much more snap in his shots. He's stronger. He's got bite to him, man. You think Brito's gonna let Jack Shore kick his ass?
Yeah. I think Jack Shore is going to beat him. I don't know about kick his ass. I don't think it's a one-way traffic fight. I think Brito's dangerous. He's explosive, but he's reckless at times. He's a little overrated. He's intimidating. He's a bully. Jack Shore is a sophisticated martial artist with a really good jab. And I think that what he lacks, right, is in that physical frame in his previous fight at 145. I'm going to anticipate Jack Shore has put on a little bit of muscle, especially to take on a guy like Joanderson Brito. I have dug into Jack Shore's Instagram and I said, bro, I got to see, is he working out? Is he putting on some size? And Finch, if you want, I can bring the proof in the pudding up. I got a pic from Jack Shore's IG of what his physique is looking like right now. Let me see if I can find it, bro.
Taking shirtless pics of Jack Shore. He's really into this pic.
I'm telling you, I'm into this pic, my brother. Listen, okay? Jack Shore, Tank Shore. Look at this guy. He's been hitting the gym hard, my brother. You see him? This is how he's looking now. That's Jack Shore. That's Jack Shore, my brother. Look, it's his page.
Who is that guy?
That's Jack Shore, bro. He's been lifting.
Who is that guy?
Jack Shore is jacked. Jack Shore is jacked. I didn't mean to fucking bring myself in the front screen. Listen, I'm going with Jack Shore, though, for real. All jokes aside, I do think his jab is good. And I think Brito's hittable with those jabs. I haven't forgot about that Algio loss. Everybody's writing Jack Shore off, but like, he was 16-0 not long ago. How are we going to write him off now?
Yeah.
Oh,
there we go. Hey, Ali Point B, thank you so much. We dropping donos. Finch Moicano wants money. Come on, you subscribers, buy $1.49. It's $1.49, guys. Let's go. I think we had another dono too. Thank you, Ali Point B TV. I appreciate you. And yes, I do want money.
Thank you for the 3 months, my brother. What's up, guys? Big W. You savages. Let's put Canelo Moneyline this weekend. Give me Costa, Ruffy, order by parlay. Listen, I like the calls, my brother. We picked all the same ones so far with the prelims. Good call.
That is true. That is an interesting parlay. Thank you for throwing that out there, Hernando. Appreciate you being a member, dog.
Let's go. Well, Finch, I'm assuming you're picking Joanderson Brito. You're going with everybody else. Jack Shore, man. I don't know. I got this feeling.
I got a feeling. Okay. Ooh. I mean, fair enough. Like, Jack Shore's good. You're not crazy for that. I kind of like the Jack Shore pick, actually. Okay. But my head goes to, this is a close fight. It's a good matchup. I think Brito is more explosive, more of a finisher, a little more dangerous, and they're in Brazil. Dog. But Jack Shore's competent. I like the pick, honestly. That's cool. I'll be now I'm more interested to watch. Thank you, AJ.
Listen, I just think Jack Shore is going to surprise a lot of people. I don't know why Joanderson Brito. It's just something about him. I'm always like, something misses. I know he got a nice submission of Pierce last time, and I know he's had, some signature wins. He knocked out Feely in a few seconds, beat Lucas Alexander. I mean, in the midst of it all, he beat Weston Wilson, which is not a big win. We talked about Weston Wilson had fought Gene Silva, who's on this card earlier, and I'm picking against him too. So I guess the Weston Wilson curse right now. Diego Lopez is a guy that actually lost to Joanderson Brito on Contender Series, and a lot of people are using that old fight to say this is why he's going to beat Shore. Styles make the fights. Brito is significantly open for those jabs. And if Jack Shore can sting him up, if Jack Shore can stop takedowns, I think Jack Shore can surprise a lot of people and end up pulling off a big upset. So I am going to pick Jack Shore. He's an underdog. Of course he's an underdog, but he's not as wide as you would think. He's only a plus 145 underdog here against Brito, who many would expect would be a 3-1 favorite, at least from what we've seen. Like, I kind of think maybe the books are also like, man, Jack Shore is 17-1. Jack Shore has moved up to 45, and I kind of think Jack Shore might find the best version of himself here up a weight class. I'm going to have some faith that Jack Shore is en route to winning this thing, man.
Yeah, he's going to need to. He's going to need to find the best version of himself because, moving up, like Brito's already big. So moving up, he won't have the size advantage. And then, I swear, man, that Brazilian crowd, I want to see the stats. We get more finishes. And if you're telling me finish, I'm thinking Brito. So
Respect.
really cool fight, man. Thank you for hyping it up for me.
Let's go, my brother. I respect Finch on the opposite side, of course. A lot of people on that side. I am against the grain. I'm on Jack Shore. Let's keep running up. Let's get to our main card opener. If you guys haven't yet, make sure you smash the like button. And if you're new, subscribe. We got Paul Craig versus Caio Borja. This fight for me was pretty black and white down the center. Borja has the better striking. He's a competent grappler as well. And I think he's got a big speed advantage against Paul Craig, but it's not just striking speed. It's transitional speed in the grappling positions. He's just a lot more of a better athlete. I think Borja's en route to winning, but I respect Paul Craig's game overall. And I do think he could potentially go to 3 rounds with Borja. Borja's not really shown big crack in his pop, right? He's not a stinging puncher per se. He's got a little pop, but he's not a knockout king. And his finishing ability, I mean, he submitted Jacek, who's a primary striker. I have a inkling that we're going to go 3 rounds, Borja on the cards.
Bro, Paul Craig, can he catch a break?
No.
You know, whenever you're representing a country at war, like any of them, Ukraine, whatever, like, you know, I feel like
what country's at war for Paul Craig?
Paul Craig, is he not Jewish? Am I wrong? Am I tripping?
No, he's Jewish.
Paul Craig's not Jewish?
No.
What the fuck is Paul Craig? Bear Jew.
Scotland.
This is fucking, his nickname's the Bear Jew. Oh, it is Scotland though. Oh, that's funny. All right, so he's Scottish Bear Jew. I remember Bear Jew. I'm like Israel for sure. My bad. All right, I'm tripping.
That's funny.
I'm tripping. I rescind. I thought he is the Bear Jew. I'm not completely off. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm off enough to be off though. Paul Craig's going to lose. I think Caio Borja is just going to be. He's better everywhere. I mean, what is Paul Craig better at? Jiu-jitsu? No, probably not. Probably not. And then the striking, and then the wrestling. Caio Borja is a very confident pick for me here.
Yeah, Caio Borja should get it done. I think he's got pretty much every advantage you need in the fight game to take out somebody like Paul Craig. Now, as far as the odds for the fight, I mean, bro, it's minus 550 for Borja. He's a really ugly wide favorite. Paul Craig's a plus 400 underdog, so very chalky betting odds, unfortunately, for this matchup. But I think it's Borja's opportunity to really show a lot of himself. I would love to see a finish, but I do feel like this could end up being another decision win for Borja. He's been a bit of a decision machine. If you look, I mean, his only UFC finish is Jacek, who I said primary striker, Abus Magomedov decision, Makhmud Muradov decision, Armin Petrosian decision, Gadzi Omar Gadziev technical decision.
What else do we got to say, folks? I mean, maybe my most confident pick of the card. You?
It's a high confidence one. He should win.
How wide? Now hit me with how bad the fucking odds are.
Oh, bro, it's 5-1. We're looking at for Borja, we're looking at minus 550, my brother. I mean, if you're lucky, you got minus 350 at my bookie. So they should give us a promo code and we'll shout out to go there. You know what I'm saying? My bookie, what's up?
Damn. All right. We'll look at it because I really wanted to throw. Just full disclosure, I really wanted to throw Caio Borja in the parlay, but that's wide. So we'll look at it.
We'll see. Borja for the win by decision. The official call on that. Plus 200. He's expected to win inside distance. Interesting.
That's going to be hard because I think it actually will be tough to put Paul Craig away the way Brendan Allen did.
Right.
That's actually a taller task than it would appear. And Caio's not the best finisher. Right?
No, he's not a great finisher. One finish in the UFC.
Yeah. We're gonna go all three. We're gonna go Caio 30-27.
Caio Borja for the win. For Finch and I both. We're on him 30-27. Same prediction. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card, we have Michel Pereira versus Ihor Potieria. I think Michel Pereira is going to beat Potieria up, man. Pereira at 185 pounds. If you're talking about recipe for success, it's exactly this. He was always a decent fighter at 170. He was on a nice roll, but that weight cut significantly drained him and I think lessened the power, which now is something we've gotten used to because he destroyed his past 2 opponents, Andre Petroski and Mikhail Jacek. And to be fair, I don't think Potieria is much of a step up, if even a step up from either one of those guys. Maybe a step to the side, maybe similar striking levels. So I don't know. I think Jacek might be a better boxer than him. I think I'd maybe favor Jacek. Poteria is an interesting prospect. He had a big win over Robert Brišek last time, who was just a debuting fighter nonetheless. It was an upset, but debuting guy. Has a big win over Shogun some time ago, and I think that in Brazil, Pereira is going to get some vengeance for Shogun. I think he's knocking Poteria out pretty viciously.
I mean, at 185, he's huge. Remember, I told you I saw him at the UFC Performance Institute. I'm like, is that a heavyweight? Like, he is such a freak athlete, man. Now he's found his groove. And, you know, you mentioned how Olin Jacek might be a better boxer than Poteria. Yeah, but Poteria's might be a better, like, full well-rounded kickboxer than him. But I think Pereira is ready for that. You know, Pereira's already beaten a great grappler, you know, and a Petrosian. And looked really good doing it. I mean, how impressive was that performance? I think he's going to keep the ball rolling here, man. He gets another finish. We're going to go Pereira, excuse me. I'm used to talking about Alex. Pereira, and we're going to go with a finish, man. I think he can get a knockout over Ihor, and it's because of the way their styles match up. I bet it happens late. I'll bet it happens after there are some good exchanges, and Ihor Poteria goes for it a little bit, but I see Ihor Poteria covering up and Michel Pereira getting that finish TKO.
Knockout for Pereira. Official line is -120. The money line's up at -600 for Pereira. Poteria as a +425 dog. You like over rounds, bro? If you like over 1.5, it's +115 as well.
Fuck. Man, these lines are ridiculous.
Yeah.
How are we supposed to bet these, man? They're going to keep me home.
Parlays, unfortunately.
Parlay time. You know, every time I go to do my show now, I leave my gym, UFC Rosemead, and the general manager says to me, "Is it parlay time?" It's parlay time. That's just that's how they don't even know the show's name. They don't even know it's called Moneyline. They just know. Is it parlay time? It's about to be. Michel Pereira, lock.
Yeah, but if Pereira loses, that would be an atrocious upset. I just don't believe that to be true. Michel Pereira is on his way to winning the fight. You should look pretty damn good doing it. I'm hype as hell for it. Michel Pereira, knockout win. I think he could get in the first round, honestly. If you look at Poteria's UFC losses, all KO, TKOs, looking at win there by first round knockout for Pereira sits at +225. Not telling you to go bet everything on that, but just something to read off if you like the first round.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Poteria looked good knocking out 100-year-old Shogun. Now he's got to go face the Brazilians again. They're not going to be happy, okay? He's going into enemy territory. He knows it.
He knows it. Respect him taking the fight on short notice. He was supposed to fight Shara Bullet, and then Pereira was supposed to fight Mukman Muradov, and Poteria jumped in. Pretty badass opportunity, and I think good stylistic clash. It's a Brazilian showcase. Don't get me wrong. It's a Brazilian showcase. Pereira all day.
Welcome to the Pereira show.
Yeah, let's go. Let's keep running. Next fight on the card is our featured bout of the night. We got Anthony Lionheart Smith versus Vitor Petrino. Anthony Smith said on paper he's the best fighter in the UFC light heavyweight division. He said he'd beat Alex Pereira. He said he thinks he's in line for a title with a win here. I'm not smoking on what he's smoking on. I'll do a rip over here of some quality shit. I don't know what he's been ripping. So let me do that for Petrino real quick.
Yo, AJ was just bragging about all the stuff he's got over there to hit on the Florida side. AJ's got some good shit, apparently. The saxophone has been upgraded, folks.
Saxophone's upgraded, bro. Live rosin. I'm keeping it classy. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm picking Petrino to get it done. I think Petrino's en route to getting a knockout win against a well-marinated Anthony Smith. Like, listen, you leave a fine wine out for too long, it doesn't get better with age, like when you open the bottle cap. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happened with Anthony Smith. The bottle cap's been open. It's been sitting out too long. And Petrino's going to start you, my brother. We're going with Brazil, baby.
Petrino's getting ready for this.
Yeah.
Tie this bib up here. Oh, man. How do we not pick Petrino by knockout? I mean, what are we going to do? You know, before AJ and I went live, I was trying to, okay, Petrino by what? Like, you have to pick KO here. You know, Lionheart beat who? Ryan Spann? Like, brother, it's there's a big athletics difference here, and it's going to be in Petrino's favor. Petrino by knockout from Fresno knows what we're talking about. Thank you, Spider-Man. Appreciate you. We're going Petrino knockout.
420, baby. Thank you for a lucky number. Let's go. Petrino by KO makes a lot of sense, brother. I don't think that Anthony Smith survives the onslaught. minus 550 for Petrino, but you even got a minus 420 line at my bookie for Petrino. So if you're over on my bookie, we just brought 420 up. I just did a rip. Is it destiny? If you're at, bro, Petrino's definitely going to win this fight now. Minus 420, I'm telling you, it's a sign from the universe, my brother. It's Petrino for the dub.
Can you give me the knockout prop?
Yeah, for sure. Let me give you the knockout prop. Currently, Petrino by KO is plus money at plus 115.
Is plus 115.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Okay. Thank you.
For sure. Petrino, I think, is nasty, man. He's a gnarly prospect. And even if on the feet Smith is looking okay, Petrino is a specimen physically, and I think you can throw Smith around, my brother.
I think so. I mean, Smith really should he should grapple here. I mean, it's very obvious he should be climbing on the back of Petrino. He needs to get blood in those muscles because Petrino's way too explosive early on. I think he's just down the wrong end of some shots, AJ. I really do.
Yeah. I think Petrino out-grapples him too. If they tie up, Petrino's too strong, bro. He'll pick him up. He'll slam him. Petrino don't need the technical wrestling. He's just a freak.
Yeah. He that's 2024 MMA. I mean, you got Bonfim on this card, you got Petrino. These guys are impressive. Sky's the limit for these guys. These are some of the best Brazilians. These are the best Brazilians we have competing in 2024. And I think they're gonna have some wicked performances, man.
I'm excited for it. Let's go. Let's keep running up. Our co-main event for UFC 301 is Jonathan Martinez versus the great Jose Aldo. Aldo retired in 2022 and he decided to transition to doing boxing, which he's been consistent with. And he decided, hey, I'm going to make a comeback for this Brazil pay-per-view. And they give him a surging Jonathan Martinez, who has looked better than he has ever looked. I mean, he's getting better and better each fight. I really think that this is Jonathan Martinez's fight to win. I just think the opportunity is being granted to him at a perfect time. Jose Aldo is already speaking upon once he wins or fights, not even winning, but just getting through this fight. He's already talking about going back into boxing. Somebody that I want to back with a pick or even considering a bet on the side of Jose Aldo. My worry would be the fact that his mind is already focused on a different combat sport and he's put his heart and soul into professional boxing now. To come back into MMA, regardless of how great he once was, he is 37. And he is taking on a guy that has never tasted the top. Jose Aldo has done everything a fighter can do in mixed martial arts, aside from, I guess, winning 2 belts in 2 different weight classes. But he's got the 2 organizations, WEC and UFC. Jose Aldo's done it all. He's an all-time great. But I think Jonathan Martinez makes this a grimy fight. I think it's a competitive striking match. Little speed edge towards the younger Martinez, but ever so slight. I don't think Aldo has the same timing that he used to, and I think he's more hittable than he was in the past. I want to see how the leg kick battle plays out. I want some signature Aldo leg kicks, but so much time focusing on boxing, I think it changes the fighter. You saw it with Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor pre-boxing versus post-boxing, he lost that karate, man.
Yeah.
And I think Jose Aldo transitioned into boxing. We already saw less low kicks. I expect maybe even less. I'm going Jonathan Martinez by a competitive decision.
You know what, though? What's different with Jose is that he was already transitioning from being a kicker to being a puncher to being a boxer in his MMA career. I mean, look at WEC Jose Aldo. He's just slamming low kicks in there on everybody. That's all he was doing. The hands were just like decoys. Whack, whack. That low kick was coming in there. Then, at some point he started transitioning to being more so a boxer. And, so the way they match up, orthodox versus southpaw, I feel like the kicks will be somewhat taken away. Not that they'll be completely taken away, but that'll be a big weapon that Jose could potentially take away from Martinez to make this thing a lot closer. Look, when I first heard this fight, I thought, you know what? Jose could win this fight because Martinez might be a little nervous there in Brazil, and I could see Jose taking this thing. And then I thought about it. Man, a win over Said Nurmagomedov, the Adrian Yanez performance. I mean, we've seen him step up there against some pretty scary competition and perform well. And we're talking about a Jose where it's like, where does he go? Like, what is Jose fighting for other than, a paycheck and a fun night in Brazil? I don't really see the path for Jose as clearly as I see it for Jonathan Martinez. So really cool fight. I mean, full disclosure, again, I was going to go Jose Aldo. I do like that, you know, it's
Why don't
that
you go
Jose could.
Aldo, my brother? Don't just be swayed by me.
No, you motherfucker! I just said what I got swayed by, which is that AJ did sway me earlier today. But what I got swayed by here was the win over Said Nurmagomedov and Adrian Yanez. Remembering those performances really, you know, it shows me that Jonathan Martinez is not going to get stage fright out there. And I do think that he'll have to adjust to more so calf kicks. I do think he'll have to adjust a little bit with Jose Aldo. It'll be a closer fight than I think a lot of people are thinking too. Yeah, I think I'll go Martinez, man. It's tough to say right here, too. I'm rooting for Jose big, brother. I'm a Jose Aldo fan, and how are you not?
I'm
You
going
as in
Martinez
everybody
too,
out
my
there.
brother. Yeah, we all are, my brother. But minus 165 Martinez, plus 145 Aldo. The odds initially at open had Martinez as a plus 100 underdog. So still respect by the books initially on Jose Aldo, even at the later stage. But I do think it's Jonathan Martinez's time, bro. If he doesn't get starstruck by Aldo, which I don't know, Martinez rubs me as the guy that isn't one to be starstruck. He's a very quiet guy. They've said he's even considered shy by many. He's just not a big talker. I don't think that he's going to be starstruck by Aldo. I think he'll be excited to showcase his skills. And I think he can pull off the biggest win of his life against a UFC legend in Brazil. Juan Martinez by decision.
The Southpaw Orthodox matchup takes away Martinez's biggest weapon. So Martinez is going to have to make adjustments. And Jose Aldo coming from boxing, I don't think is a bad thing. Like, I think that's where you and I disagree, is that I think him coming from boxing is actually the approach he needs to take. He needs to check kicks and box this kid, right?
I think this is the thought process here. Let me tell you. I feel like doing the boxing might even change Aldo mentally. Like, I don't know. I just feel like the lower half is now not being used. I don't think it's optimal for fighting a Jonathan Martinez. It's not like Jose Aldo can't kick some ass, but dude, Martinez is on a streak right now. What is it, 7 in a row? Is it? I'm going to double check to make sure, but I'm 80% sure it's 7 in a row. And he's looked better every time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 in a row. Excuse me, not 7. 6 in a row. And with a win here would be 7 in a row.
I like the fight, man. Look, some folks hating on Jose Aldo. Not you, AJ, but, you know, I hear him out there. Jose Aldo's legit, man. We'll see what's up. This kid is on the way up, and Jose is at the end of his career, obviously, and it usually doesn't bode well for those in the lower weight classes. So we're going to go with Martinez. We're going to go with my guy, Motaz Oscar's boy, Martinez. All right, Motaz, we're going for him. I think he picks up the dub here, and it'll probably be a good fight where he has to adjust a little bit, adjust his kicks to the body, to the calves, try to avoid getting in a boxing match with Jose Aldo. Probably goes all rounds.
Listen, I think we're going distance. That over minus, what? The over is what? Minus 260. I think we're going over 2.5 rounds is a good call here. I think very good chance we're hitting the over on this one. So I guess I'll add that to the list of write down. Aldo Martinez. Boom. All right. Let's jump to our main event of the evening. If you guys haven't yet, make sure you all smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. We got Alexandre Pantoja, the Brazilian Savage, defending the title in Brazil against Steve Erceg. And I am picking Steve Erceg to pull off the upset in this fight. And some people may say, bro, you're nuts. You're crazy. You're a menace to society. Listen, Mike Finch, you got a chance in there, my brother. You look just like him right now. This is perfect, especially with the nose thing you're doing with the microphone. You're twinning. I think that Steve Erceg's a hard matchup for Pantoja. Erceg comes from a quality grappling base, but he's also a pretty poised and calculated striker. He's a cleaner boxer than Pantoja, and Pantoja in recent fights has still shown vulnerabilities. He won a very close decision against Brandon Moreno. There was moments for Brandon Royval in their rematch. I feel as though the timing is perfect for Steve Erceg to club and sub Pantoja, my brother.
Club and sub Pantoja. Do you guys hear what this guy is saying? AJ's telling us that my dorky younger brother, Steve Erceg, is going to come from Australia to Brazil and have the nerve to take the world title from Pantoja in Brazil? Brother, Pantoja's taking this dude down and elbowing his face. And I see what you see on the feet. Now, you made a really solid point in your previous show, which is that Pantoja sort of, leaves openings on the feet and has to have a good chin to get through fights. That will catch up to him. I agree 100%. But is this the moment? Am I going to place a bet that this is the moment? I'm not. I think Pantoja is going to go ahead and hit these takedowns at will. And putting the striking and the grappling together is what Pantoja does well. And the control will be nice. Erceg's game. Erceg's live. Erceg reminds me of like Kenny Florian. Like, he's good. He's got some shots. He's got some jiu-jitsu. But is he world title? No. I think it's too soon for him, AJ. It's just too soon for Steve Erceg to be the champ. How the fuck could you imagine just 6 months ago being like, yeah, Steve Erceg is going to be in a title fight? Like, what?
No, I would have said I could see it. I've seen something special with Erceg since day one, but I fell away from him in my first pick when it was him and Dvorak. I called Erceg as a big underdog, and then I picked Flip after the weigh-ins because, man, he looks too skinny. He looks dorky. He looks like my high school history teacher, but he can kick some ass, baby. And new, okay? And new. Steve Erceg is going to surprise a lot of you. Maybe he doesn't get the club and sub, but I think he's still definitely getting the dub, my brother.
The dub ski. All right. Hey, man, if that's what you see, respect to you, brother. Respect to you.
Listen,
Steve
Finch,
Erceg
wait.
definitely.
Aussie. Oi. You just guaranteed Erceg to win, my brother. You shouldn't have done a win. That's good luck, baby. We got this now.
I don't believe in that shit. I ain't superstitious.
All right, well, when he wins, you're gonna be Finch. You're gonna call me and say, all right.
I ain't superstitious. That's a prediction that won't come true, okay? I'm gonna bet against that one. What are the odds on that one?
The odds on it are not as crazy as you'd expect. Erceg is a plus 165 underdog with Pantoja at minus 200. If you're crazy enough to want to play that submission prop, Erceg is plus 1,200 for win by submission in this fight.
Look,
Oil him up. Oil up, Finch. Yeah, he picked against himself. The disrespect.
Wasn't Dana supposed to? What was the deal he made with Nina, where he was supposed to actually get oiled up or something? I don't think it happened.
No, I'm glad it didn't happen.
I think, yeah. We're good. Yeah, that's true. That's a fair point. We're good.
Let's not remind Dana,
Yeah. But I think he made a bet or something. I thought he was supposed to follow up on that. No, don't oil me up either. I'm not even bald. I like Pantoja here, guys. Betting wise, not a crazy bet. And look, I know Erceg is on a roll, but he hasn't fought Pantoja. He hasn't fought any of the top of the division. So how could we have so much confidence in him? I don't.
Listen, Alexandre Pantoja's last 5, okay? Manel Cop win, impressive for sure. Brandon Royval submission, he looked awesome. He was primed there. Alex Perez submission, amazing. He looked primed. Split decision with Moreno, took a lot of damage. Split decision, unanimous decision with Royval, but competitive fight, took some damage. He already had 2 wins over Moreno previously and was always just a nightmare matchup for him. He had beaten Royval previously. This new blood Erceg, bro, 28 years old versus the 34-year-old.
3-0 in the UFC. 3 fucking wins over David Dvorak, Alessandro Costa, who's opening this card. The opener of the card.
He's a great prospect.
Last. And then Matt Schnell. Matt Schnell gets you a title shot.
Matt Schnell rocked Pantoja. Matt Schnell rocked Pantoja.
Dog. It's Matt fucking Schnell, dude.
Matt Schnell rocked Pantoja. Did it not happen? Yeah,
it happened. But
Erceg's left hook. Club and sub. Shocking the world, my brother. I'm doing it.
When the fuck did Matt Schnell? This guy's bringing up shit from where?
You heard him.
Matt Schnell fought Pantoja in 2019, dog. 2019. That was 5 years ago. And he lost the fight.
A lot of damage done on Pantoja.
I think Pantoja is a lot better now, especially at mixing the striking and the grappling. That's where I think he wins this fight. Give me 4 rounds to 1. Pantoja laying it down. I do think Erceg will be tough to finish because he's nice with the jiu-jitsu. He'll probably survive a couple moments, but make no mistake about it. Pantoja out-wrestles him all night. Pantoja, UD.
Pantoja by decision, if you're interested in that prop, Finch, plus 285. Over 3.5 is minus 150 with an over 4.5 at plus 120, my brother.
Okay.
All right.
I like it.
Hey, listen, we're on the opposite ends in the main event, but that's what makes the show fun. I was thinking, is Finch going to pick his twin brother? Yeah, brother, I didn't think so.
What the fuck?
Listen.
Twins, man, I'm way cooler. If me and Erceg walk into a bar, I'm leaving with the girl. You know, I don't care if he's a UFC.
What if he
fighter.
comes in with that UFC belt, brother?
Don't even. then he's
After
extra.
Saturday, maybe it's a different conversation, bro.
All right, we'll see what's up.
Let's
I don't
see.
think he's gonna have that belt after
All right.
Saturday. I think he's
We'll
gonna
see.
have the same belt that's been keeping his pants up this whole time, man. I don't know. I think it's too soon. It's too soon for Erceg. Maybe the future will be different, but right now it's Pantoja's time.
You guys know. And new, my brother. And new. I'm very excited for it. Steve Erceg to pull off the upset for me. Finch, I respect the pick on Pantoja. I'm giving you a hard time being absolutely stubborn as it gets here with my prediction, but I respect your side as always, my bro.
Thank you. I respect you too. Hey, I like that you're picking. You got a couple nice dogs. Jack Shore and Steve Erceg win. Brother, you're riding high.
We're riding high, my brother. Listen, we're not done just yet, guys. It's time for the fame section, the fan favorite section. Well, I would say the most infamous section, the lock of the night. Lock of the night brought to you by Hit and Move. Mike Finch, we got a money lock section. We got a sponsor for the lock. Tell us about Hit and Move, my brother.
Hit and Move is the shit. My guy Ozzy, who I used to train back at UFC Gym River North in Chicago, quit his job and started a company where he sourced custom leather and he made these incredible gloves. The best in the world use them. I saw Gervonta Davis was using them. These aren't sponsorships. These guys are actually getting this because it's the best gear in the world right now. Hit and Move. They're coming out with cool shit. He gave me the turtle mitts where they got mitts on the front and the back so I could throw punches at you as you parry, you shoot back. The boxing gloves are world class. I ain't selling you no bullshit. Go check out Hit and Move. Use promo code Moneyline to get yourself 15% off the best gear in the game.
Money line it up. Show Hit and Move some love for any of you guys training seriously or even just casually hitting your bag, but you want to protect your hands. You want an optimal punching experience. Hit and Move's got you guys covered. Listen, it's lock of the night time. Mike Finch, you're up first to the slate.
All right. First off, I'm Erceg's evil twin. Evil? I don't know. And how about more handsome? More handsome twin would work. Finch is Erceg's wingman. I could try, but that's a lot of work. You know what I'm saying? She's going to have to be drunk. And Mitchell says, if I lock up Pantoja, he's weak. Well, joke's on you, Mitchell. You were already weak. I got Pantoja for my lock of the night. And Pantoja's the lock of the night because he's already been 5 rounds. He's far more seasoned, okay? Erceg, we just put him into the grill. There's still blood dripping, okay? He's not ready. We got a nice seasoned professional athlete, a world champion at that. Pantoja's fought the best of the best. Steve Erceg has done no such thing. Pantoja wins, and he wins pretty dominantly with a plethora of takedowns. Pantoja decision is my lock.
Oh, Pantoja? No Toja, my brother. Listen, I respect that Mike Finch threw a lock at you, but I'm sorry, guys. I'm strongly against him. I'm on Steve Erceg. My lock of the week for UFC 301, the lock of this night. William Gomis.
I was hoping for
I got
Erceg.
you, my brother. No,
I was really hoping for
William Gomis, though. I actually think Gomis is a really live underdog. I like the
That's
stylistic clash. I like the kickbox from distance. This is an underdog lock because I have some very confident picks on this card, but I went with the mentality that we can lock those up in a safer parlay and call some high confidence picks. And you'll see my most confident picks on the card in that parlay section. But I'm going to go underdog for the lock, and I'm going decision win for Gomis. I think he gets it. And I'm not hating on my guy Erceg, though. I think that he's getting it done too. Don't think because I didn't lock him that I don't think he's coming through.
Y'all know who's got the better genes in the family. Don't even fuck around, Nick. Hey, I like that lock of the night. Look, you were on Gomis early, and it made me look at him for sure. Yeah, it's cool. I mean, 6 feet tall. He's going to be hard to get to. They're in the big cage. At least he can move side to side. I like it. Oh, the glasses are off.
I'm taking them off to tell the people. Listen, guys, run the likes up for us, man. We need the likes higher. We got live 58 likes. I'm sure we got plenty more if you're watching on replay. So shout out to you on replay. Run these likes up for your boys, man. Run them up.
I already liked it.
I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you a lot.
Come on, guys. We see
Let's go.
189 people sitting in this chat. I better see 189 likes. Like,
That's what I like. Let's go. Let's do it. Listen, Finch, we're not done yet. We got the Savage section. It's time for the parlays.
All the competition that try to compete, stand back, watch the bomb drop.
Parlay time. Open up your wallets and let's bet on some fist fights.
Yeah, it's parlay time. I've got Michel Pereira. He's gonna beat some fucking ass Saturday night. Yeah, and Caio Barrio better be better than Paul Craig the Bear Jew. He's gonna win a decision, and then I'm gonna go on a triple. I'm going for a 3 parlay. Give me Bonfim. I got Ismael Bonfim. I got Caio Barrio. I got Michel Pereira. I know that went from musical to statement, but I didn't know where the fuck I was going with Bonfim. What rhymes with Bonfim? Figure that one out for me.
Bonfim, I feel like it's a dream. I don't really know.
The theme, of course. Shit. You had me. All right.
Shit.
I got Bonfim. I got Caio, and I got Michel Pereira, 3-legger, and I think that is a decent little touch. Thank you, Wise. Appreciate you being wise enough to find us live. Thank you very much.
Obrigado, my brother. We're in Brazil. Luta, you know what I'm saying? How do you say betting big in Brazil, bro? I don't even know. Let's use
Borja.
Borja. I don't know. Thank you, Wise. I appreciate you, bro. We're going to leave you on screen to,
Caralho.
Caralho. Mamma mia. I don't know.
Right, now we're switching.
Wait, hold on. Betting. How do you say parlay time in Brazilian or in Portuguese? Brazilian. Tempo de negociario.
You just said some other shit,
bro.
You get jumped fucking saying that shit out front of the stadium. Who knows what the fuck you just said? I don't know. Who knows what the fuck you just said?
Hey, thank you for the 5, Paku.
Paku likes the lock. He'll be cheering for Erceg, but Pantoja is too damn good. Erceg is getting pushed too quick. Who said something like that? Do you know anybody who said something like that? Way too many questions. I got questions too. Okay? Like, how the fuck is that my full brother? It's a half brother at least. It's not a full brother. It's a half brother. So, I agree with you, Paku. Thank you for the $5.
Love you, Paku. But Team Erceg for the W. Listen, Finch, I got to do my parlay. Yours was minus 140. So you're playing in real safety zone, chalky.
I mean, there's 3 fat locks. Like, really what we did was I just took my 3 most confident picks of the card and mushed them together. A lot of times that works.
I mean, if they fucking lose, like, this world's on fire. I don't know what the hell's going down. Now, but I hold to win. Mitterbeck, Orolbai to win. Those 2 right there, we got minus 150. I think that one's a hitter. And if you want to add that 3rd leg, I honestly really like where Mike Finch's head's at with Michel Pereira too. That's minus 100 at even money there for the trifecta. So, like, we're set. We're set, bro.
Can I give an honorable mention?
Honorable mention.
Vitor Petrino by knockout being plus money. It was interesting, but the reason why I didn't go for it is the show's called Moneyline because I don't like those finished plays. I just don't pick them very often. It's a tougher one to pick, but Petrino knockout seems very likely to me. Doesn't seem like a plus money touch to me. And so that's interesting.
Listen, we're going to find out what's what this coming Saturday. I think that this is going to be a banger of all banger cards. I've been excited for 301 for a while. It seemed like at first, like 301 was getting no love, bro. People were saying it sucks. It's just the post UFC 300 blues. Hey, from Fresno, thank you for gifting a membership, my brother. I appreciate you a lot. Shout out to you, bro. Hopefully, went to somebody good. Gertie Meats, shout out to you. You just got gifted a membership. Listen, guys, we're at 86 likes live. I'll absolutely toke it up before we leave if we hit 100 in like a minute, bro. So Mike Finch is looking at me like, shit, we better hit it right now. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, AJ's been bragging to me. I said before we went live, AJ's like, I got some good shit, man. Is it because it was 420? Is that what's going on?
420, 420 I'm getting it tatted on me, bro. It's my lucky number.
What the fuck?
I'll be honest, Mike Finch. You want to know something? I'm every day. I don't know how. I don't know why. I check my phone. I check the clock. Always 420. I see it every day. I hit it. So I always view it as my lucky number, 420.
Okay, got you.
420 live concurrent views and shit. I be seeing that on live streams. Call me Mr. 420, my brother.
You know what my lucky number is?
What is it?
Nobody has a lucky number. What
My
type
favorite
of
number.
superstitious bullshit are you
It's real.
feeding these kids out there? Listen,
you.
kids at home, there's no such thing as a lucky number.
There
This is nonsense.
There
Okay,
is.
I don't care what color socks you got on. I got my lucky underwear on. I'm going to win the baseball.
I do it.
No, you're not. It doesn't make a difference. All right? So it doesn't matter what the number is. It doesn't matter what type of underwear you got on. I don't care. It's not about that, folks. Don't get caught up. You're going to do your thing anyway. I don't care what number shows. Shit, it's not my lucky number. I can't. That's the wrong mindset. Don't believe in witchcraft bullshit. Don't be superstitious, right?
Superstitious writings on the wall. When you believe in things no one understands.
And you suffer. What is it? Superstition has.
Listen, I'm superstitious, Finch, on this 420 thing. We're going 420.
I do believe in numbers. Too legit to quit. I believe in numbers.
Finch told me before the show he don't believe in math. The same guy saying this.
Math is fake.
Fake math, bro.
Math is fake.
Math
Dude,
is
I've been attempting to, not successfully, educate myself on just essentially just basic understanding of like what space-time is, what quantum physics is. I still don't understand, but I'm trying. And what I came to this realization, how has nobody said that gravity is fake? Like that one is more obvious to me than flat earth. Flat earth, it's like, come on, look up. You see how the planets are oblate spheres? You could take a telescope and look at Saturn. Like you could see Mars. You could see Mars like a naked eye.
Those telescopes. It's not
gravity, though. Gravity's mind-blowing. It really have to try to wrap my mind around the fact that something's mass can be so great that I'm like attracted to it. That is crazy to me. That something can be so large that all of a sudden you just start going towards it. This is a bizarre thought, but gravity is fake. I've never heard anody say that.
I had a buddy of mine that liked chubby girls. He said it was the gravitational pull. Right?
Show's over. Show's over, folks.
You like the big, bro. I appreciate you all. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you all smash the likes. Make sure you all subscribe if you're new. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. The UFC 301 picks are done, and we got savagery through and through this whole thing, man. I think big things are coming. I'm hyped, bro. I got content tomorrow. I dropped a video earlier today. If you guys haven't seen it, I think it's definitely worth a watch. You know what it was about, Mike Finch? It was about Colby Covington just absolutely lying up a storm on the Hodge Twins podcast, bro. So I had to expose him a little bit. I had to stand for honesty and fairness in this world. And Colby Covington, he don't do it. So linked up at the top, I got my most recent video. If you guys are interested in the news and reaction type videos, that's out for all of you, man.
There it is. Check out my guy, AJ. You guys know what I'm doing. It's the Mike Finch Show live in about 10 minutes. I will see you guys over on my channel. We'll hang out. We'll talk fist fights. We'll talk about those nasty BKFC finishes. We'll talk about this upcoming card here. Anything you guys want to, we'll go for it. You got 20 minutes with me, and I'll see you in 10.
Mike Finch, I am going to send a link to the people right now.
Thank you.
We got what do we call it? Confident AF, bro. Mike Finch is confident.
That was the last one. AJ comes up with these headlines. I don't know. AJ does the graphic. AJ he does it like this. It would take me forever to do these things.
My forte, my brother.
AJ is a legit expert.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate it. Listen, guys, I appreciate you all. Much love. We're hype for more. So keep it locked in right here, man. Daily content. You know where to find it right here in the channel. Thank you guys for supporting. Check out Finch, man. Don't forget, at Mike Finch Show. He's going to be live. You got to give him a watch. Finch is always a good time. And maybe you see your boy in the chat. We shall find out. Thank you, guys. Peace out. See you later.